playing more Phoenix and Raze, and obviously Raze is a great agent for a map like Bond in particular. Chemicals won't be playing the Jet either. He will be playing the Raze, something that you do occasionally see him do instead of playing the Jet on this map. And then other than that, it's pretty much all about what you would expect.
And just as you expect to get some info on that dart, they do just that. Unfortunately, not able to shoot that one down out of the showers just yet. Sean gonna spray on through. You don't have a whole lot of ammo, so you can send some of those rounds down range with that frenzy, but you do have to be wary as they creep back up. Now from showers to short, and it looks like they might be headed over to B.
Yeah, again, GENG is usually a team that's going to take their time, even on the pistol rounds. They like to move very slowly, kind of just be methodical. They don't like to go for anything really scrappy or fast-paced. That's more Immortals' MO. So again, we kind of talked about that the pregame segment, though that I guess it does seem like ages ago now, that these teams definitely have two very different styles. You know, Immortals being more of the brawn and GENG being more of the calculated, as we are going to see them, again, make that pivot, as you said. They did send a drone and clear out U-Haul position to keep interest on that A side of the map. As you can see, Immortals, because of that drone, are thinking maybe they're trying to take U-Haul control, but in reality, they're now setting up for a late B hit, and this Cypher nature is going to be very isolated.
Yep, all by his lonesome inside the tube here. The shots come through, though, and he's going to find the first. He's holding it down, and he's still healthy doing it. Mikhail's able to trade it back and shot up on the rotate with Genghsta. Able to pick up a few. IMT, though. Numbers going to get cut down. Now we're even across the board. And Chemicals, the man who made it back, looking to turn the round upside down as Kusta will fall and shot up to get it an IMT for the first.
Yeah, really well done there by Immortals. In particular, I have to tip a huge hat over to Nature, who was able to get a kill inside to drop the cages, buy a little bit more time. Obviously, Bond has a teleporter with lots of hookah rotation. Immortals actually able to disrupt a couple of players sitting outside of hookah and break that round back open despite being, you know, out of position. Bond kind of saves you when you're out of position. It's risky to take the portals because you announce yourself so publicly, but it does allow you to, you know, close the distance faster, and they were able to frag their way out of it. So GENG will be on to the full save now, and Immortals should be popping up to a 2-0 lead.
And this is one of those things you see the GENG playstyle really coming through, opting out of that force, not looking to pick up any of the SMGs, but instead grab some of that utility and trying to do the best they can with the classics or what they may be allotted. It's Nature inside the tube once more, and it's in Aries looking to mow him down, but Sean from downtown picks it up. Nature goes good for 2. It's only 8 HP for Huynh as he hops on top of the tube, and the spray is just going to continue, but the kills are starting to come once more, and IMT, just as you said, should be able to close this one out and grab a second round.
I have to say they made that one kind of costly, though. I mean, normally you'd want a bonus round Spectres over, but now they're going to have to go ahead and buy up on 3 of their players a little bit earlier than they would have wanted to, perhaps. So that is one thing to think about. In fact, a couple of guys having to pick up Stingers just to make sure they get head armor and ability. So that is a costly round, despite the victory for Immortals. Definitely not what they wanted. And we should be seeing GENG open up pretty default here. Their default is typically always had Kusta and Cypher being kind of more of a B lurk outside hookah. They typically like to have their Raze on Sean, kind of get control of showers, get that orb, and things of that nature. But they actually have pivoted Mikhail with the Sova more towards long B, so they are putting a little bit more emphasis on their default towards this B side, with Sova's presence being over towards the fountain.
Aggressive postures once more up towards showers. Now pushing through. Kusta gonna spot it out. Here's that lurk that you were talking about. Shot up though. Still waiting. Also gonna spot him out. And this is an interesting round. A round that IMT could have bought, but they opted into the SMGs once more. So they kind of bought themselves into a fake bonus round. So a little weird. As a whole, is that drone gonna clear out Garden? We know that this B side's pretty much been unlocked though.
That drone took a while to get destroyed, so he even got a little bit more extra information out of it than maybe he would have thought. Meanwhile, Sean's putting the pressure on with the boombot over towards U-Haul, so they're putting a nice little split pressure here on Immortals, making it hard for them to know what they're up against since they were pushed off of showers by Kusta, who was playing smart, and now Sean's able to get up into short A and take a pick into U-Haul on top of it. So they are creating a lot of presence all across the map. Yeah, one gets taken out, but they still have a huge edge here.
Yeah, and able to upgrade there. Another Stinger kill. Looking for that rifle. Another one to follow. Chemicals goes huge here. And I was talking about it before the broadcast. This guy just clicks head. Everybody on this team just clicks head here. It's all down to one. It's all down to Huynh, and unfortunately, not going to be enough. So that bonus round, it paid off.
Yeah, honestly, GENG, I felt were doing a fantastic job all throughout that run up until the very end. I mean, again, they were able to play themselves into a 4-on-4. They were able to push back showers, able to get some good intel on B with the drone, seemed to have good presence. I mean, even, again, having Sean being able to get up into U-Haul and get a pick, it seemed like everything was going their way. They had the superior firepower, was another big part of it. But then all of a sudden, just Chemicals, the man that was able to make his return right before the match started after having some PC issues, able to just hold up close with the Stinger inside showers and multi-frag out and basically seal the deal for his team for brute force alone. And that's going to force GENG right back onto a low econ round. And oh my goodness, why do you have to do it to them like that, Chemicals? They have families.
They do have families, and whatever Chemicals did while his PC was down, I mean, it seemed to really bring him online as GMD is able to pick one up in return, but it's only the sheriffs across the board. Chemical's still alive, so you need to be wary of this raise inside the showers. 3 are going to push him, and 3 are going to take him down, but he finds one, the martyrdom kill on the way out, and shot up. He's able to help out as well. Now a Stinger pushing on through that U-Haul area. On the site with the spike planted in a 3v2, make it a 3v1. Everybody mowed down here. Immortal just grab a fourth.
Yeah, not a bad run from GENG on a round where they were basically on sheriffs. To be able to go ahead, get in there, get a spike plant, bring a couple of players down, force a couple of rebuys, sets them up, you know, to be able to get the full buy here in the next round. But Immortals are off to a hot start. They've weathered every storm that they've come across thus far, of course, including winning that pistol round to get them up 4-0. But now the full buy is going to be back for GENG. Again, we do see them looking to open fairly default. Though they aren't necessarily putting that early showers pressure on it. They're a team, when I watched some of their most recent buying games, since Kusta's been on board, they've really liked to use Mikhail and Sean to get that orb inside showers and just kind of play slow with Kusta being the one playing outside Hook. But now they have Kusta pivoted more towards that outside A position, which is kind of a common way to use Cypher on this map, to be fair. So maybe just slotting him into more traditional roles, I guess you could say.
Now this round interesting for me because it's round 5, but it's full rifles across the board. The last time we saw rifles for GENG, it was into that bonus round that wasn't really a bonus round. They just bought SMGs for IMT. They played the close corners and it worked out. Now we get to see how some of these long range battles play out. And once more, it's going to be that drone up through Octagon, try and get some information. Over here, Nature in his side as well, just holding down the B site. One in hookah, so they've kind of made some adjustments.
Yeah, they didn't really gain too much here on the GENG side. The drone gets ended pretty early. Meanwhile, the counter drone of Genghsta is going to go ahead and spot that there's still one player there. Again, very slow and steady approach here from GENG all across the map. It is their style that they favor most, just to take it at a very nice, you know, steady pace. But they've already lost a player. They're only now just getting control of Octagon. They don't have any hookah control. They do have a player at Cubby at short A, but they're just getting picked apart all across the map.
All across the map, just getting picked apart, like you said, and the Hunter's Shuri not going to get any value either, as Genghsta still able to hold it down right outside of Octagon.
Wow.
jcstani able to pick one up, another to fall on that A side. Now it's down to the last 2 here for GENG, and kind of just going back to that player in hookah, it was Shot Up, who's been playing aggressively through showers, I think, for the first 4 rounds. And then he plays hookah and catches him completely off guard here. So now it should just be a full save. And IMT, they find another.
Yeah, and the problem with GENG pivoting away from going for their showers control at the early start of the round is it's allowing Immortals to go ahead and put one of their duelists inside showers early, which in this particular situation, it was, of course, the raise over on Chemicals, who was able to do just that. And so what it allows them to do is know that there's really no presence outside A. It allows them to keep 3 defenders on B comfortably, and they can go ahead and take control of hookah in their own right defensively. And here's the thing. GENG playing a slow default style is totally fine, but you have to be proactive while you're doing it. You have to be grabbing some sort of map controller that's pressuring hookah, getting into Octagon, getting showers, putting some pressure on U-Haul. You have to do something to make the defense respect you. You can't allow them to take your base territory away. Like, if you're not able to get hookah or Octagon or showers, like none of those areas, then what are you doing? Like, you're just kind of sitting back and you're just kind of hoping someone makes a mistake on your opposition. And that's not what happened there. They held their ground. They got picks all across the map, and that honestly looked kind of pitiful from GENG. Like, it's one thing to, again, have that slower pace, but you have to be doing something with it. And that round, it seemed like they just looked way too flat.
GENG taking a much needed tactical pause there to try and, you know, regain their footing. Unfortunately, this round might not be that round as they're forced a pretty lowly buy. And insult to injury in that last, right? They send everything at the teleporter. It was a recon bolt. They sent the flash with Phoenix in, 2 members waiting outside to take away another rifle from GENG. So IMT doing their due diligence as they go right back to it. Like I said, shouldn't be around necessarily one as a showstopper comes through. Not going to find too much. It backs GENG away for now. And I mean, damage traded onto GENG. I think IMT, again, in the driver's seat.
Indeed they are. I mean, IMT has just really, again, shut GENG down from getting showers going. This is the more traditional default that GENG opened with, where they had the Cypher solo outside B and the rest trying to get showers early. You know, they commit 3 players to it, but they were really, really slowed down. They're now just finally taking it, but the trade-off is they burnt a lot of Immortals utility there. They burnt the showstopper, they burnt the paint shells, so Chemicals really did expend a lot there to slow them down, where they ultimately are still going to take showers in the end. But the run it back from shot up, this could be the X factor, but no, he's not going to get the kill, but luckily Chemicals is there for the follow-up.
Chemicals trades it out. The knives, though, going to be used by Huynh here, and shot up just going huge here. 3 kills, leaving it to just the knives for GENG. Around that, we weren't necessarily expecting them to win somehow, some way. Huynh picks up another Chemicals to sit him down, and I mean, that was a Chemicals and shot up round.
Yeah, it was like a weird tug-of-war going on, right? Because you did see that Immortals were putting a lot of effort into slowing down Showers control, ultimately having to give it away, though. But then they had that run it back from shot up, and he was able to have his teammate play off of it, trade out the ult, the free life, get some kills. Now they had Showers control. They knew the rest were coming up short A, and they were able just to crossfire it into just a perfect scenario for themselves, just running GENG through the blender. So they are off to a great start here defensively, but now Huynh's gonna have the operator, and that gives them a little bit of a different tool to work with. But again, Immortals just not letting them have showers for free.
Not at all here. Sean gonna cut down the numbers to 1 here. It's just up to shot up. No longer the shot up and Chemicals show as they've been taken off the board, and GENG look to find their first. Another one through the smoke. Sean goes huge for 3. And GENG might just find their first round, but they still have to worry about Genghsta and Nature.
Yeah, Immortals is trying to, you know, run with the old idiom of if it's not broke, don't fix it. But GENG make a great adjustment and shut them down and get some big entries onto A side. We are seeing somewhat of response from Immortals, but they've only been able to find 1 frag in the mix. It's just GENGHSTA now left, holding back here towards this defender side spawn, just trying his damnedest to make them worry a bit, maybe try to drop a guy, make them rebuy a weapon, but in reality, he's gonna have to just back off here and concede. And so finally, GENG are gonna get around the board after a very labored start to the half. Gamon will go ahead and clean up GENGHSTA there. So finally, some success for the GENG side of things. It took a while, but they finally won the war in showers, and that proved to be the pivotal change that they needed to have some success.
And it was looking to be a split second away from losing this war because a recon bolt was being queued up across the map. As you check out this replay, Sean just goes absolutely huge. Following that play, he finds another through the smoke. But if you wait maybe 2 or 3 seconds for the GENG side, you might lose that because everybody gets spotted from GENGHSTA shooting out his recon bolt.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where it came down to like kind of one key duel, and once Sean got his kill and was able to get the showstopper out, it was pretty much a done deal in favor of GENG. Both ciphers are going to have neural theft in place. That could be huge for either squad depending on where they find a pick at. So that is something that we'll have to keep an eye on. In the meantime, they immediately pivot off showers control and now put more emphasis on, again, trying to get up long B and octagon with their Sova. They even have Sean over here, so it seems like they really want to get heavy-handed more towards B side. They're just kind of more lurking and watching for pushes on the A side of the map.
And the best you could hope for there, I don't know how much information that drone actually would have gotten. At the very least, it takes away one of those trap wires. Another one still set up on site as GENGHSTA sends one back and just barely misses. The only info you really get is that the Sova still might be there. 2 through the teleporter zone might have been a fake, but no, it's IMT. Shot up, gonna go on through. Now Nature picks up another kill, just closing it out. Hunter's Fury was traded, and GENG now whittled down to the last one standing.
And they're going to force the automatic reset, and let's Huynh can come up with a massive clutch here in a 1v5. He's gotten 1, but he's low on health, and he does not have spike possession. And oh my goodness, to make matters worse, he's been neural theft. So now there is no mystery. They know exactly where he is. They didn't hear the portal, so they know that he must have backed up towards U-Haul. Nice shot there from Hwin to hold on to the operator for now, but again, winning the round is pretty much out of the question, and the economic reset is going to be harsh. Saving the operator would actually be pretty huge here, but shot up is probably not going to allow that. You can see that he is looking to press in, looking to box him in this U-Haul. Hwin, though, seems to be fighting. He's swinging despite being up against the ropes. And so it looks like he will maybe hold the operator. I don't know. He's getting pushed one last time. He misses the shot, but no, nature is going to close distance. No operator saved, and that is a tough slap in the face to GENG.
The mind games from what Immortals are playing. You know jcstani is playing on that A site. Every time you hear that teleporter, you have to think that it's could possibly be a fake, but instead, two players go through. They find the kills, and they just mow everybody down. And I didn't see if it was a player dying with the spike or if they just pushed without the spike and died, because it was still hanging out inside that market area.
Yeah, now we're actually seeing Immortals take a tactical timeout, which is maybe just to kind of calm everyone down after an exciting half so far, just make sure everyone's still, mentally where they need to be. I mean, they're flying through the half, that's for sure, but you want to keep your composure and not get overly excited too early. You don't want to burn yourself out in that regard, so taking some extra time to talk things through. Think about your next adjustment, right? Because we've seen Immortals already play a pretty dynamic defense, which, again, if you're a team that likes to take a slower pace, the one thing that you can do against that defensively is to kind of poke at it. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them settle into their default. Constantly make them have to deal with chaos. And we've seen Immortals do that already multiple times in showers. I think of every time they've gone aggressive in showers, they've probably won that battle like 3 out of 4 times. The one time that they lost the battle is actually the one round that GENG have in their toolbox here. And then that round, they change it up. They go aggressive outside the teleporter and they push outside hookah. So they're doing a great job just kind of poking and prodding at GENG's default and not letting them really settle into a round. And that is a great way to cause a disturbance and make it difficult on the opposition. And so I applaud Immortals, despite all the roster changes and despite the fact that they almost had to bring in a sub and then they couldn't, then Chemicals came back, and like they were able to immediately get their heads right in this game. And they're taking it to GENG right now, dude. This is looking very dominant from them, much more than I would have expected.
It kind of cementing what a lot of people are saying, this looking to be the #1 team in North America. Obviously, it's at this time, we've only seen a little bit here in 2020, and, they haven't played up against some of the other teams, but Immortals in the last 5 have been undefeated, one of those being a best of 5, and it's been, NRG, now looking to be GENG here. It's been Sentinels, Envy. They really seem unstoppable with this solid 5 here. Shower control once more, but it's jcstani with the operator to sit Sean down, and that was the winning recipe before, and I don't think that's going to be it now as Chemicals finds another.
Great job there by Hwin to at least bust open short A and get a pick to try to alleviate some of the bleeding here, but there's still a man down, and still Showers is being held onto by Immortals. Hwin able to actually get control of A Heaven, though, so that makes things a bit interesting. But again, as long as they hold on to Showers on the Immortals side, they're always going to have a way to retake. They might even force GENG to pressure and port, but Hwin just keeps getting things done with these daggers. He gets it back even.
It's the spike in hand, though, which is scary to leave that spike up towards that Heaven area. Now coming down onto the site, 2 playing inside Showers.
Great decision.
jcstani shot up, working hand in hand. They are going to teleport on over. jcstani going to try and meet him here in this elbow position as they jump on the site. The operator, what kind of value can you get? One gets spotted out. It's the headshot. It's the spike. Now he just has to hold it. GMD's going to take down the imposter, but he has to do what seems like the impossible here. Shot up from behind, picks it up, and GENG, they're scrapping dust, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Hwin was making some plays and giving them some options, getting them into a mid-round 3 versus 3, and the portal was smart. They knew that they had a couple of players sitting inside Showers. They had no quick rotate option. They were going to have to run all the way through defender spawn or wait until they ported and then port behind them or something along those lines. They knew that likely they could get a 2-on-1 on B side at worst. They did force the From the Shadows out of jcstani in that regard, but then they lost the fight. Something came in. I think maybe Nature had a cam set up inside that allowed a dart to hit Hwin and give jcstani an easy pick with the operator there to shut down the plant and secure yet another round for Immortals. As again, they're getting aggressive inside Showers. Again, jcstani will be here with the operator, but the drone will push him back.
And I mean, I think both Paranoias tossed out there just to try and clear Showers out. Now the Hunter's Fury going to be used, a bit delayed, but it's able to pick some up. Gimon going to find the first onto Chemicals. A huge kill to have and a tag onto the opposition. Means that Doman going to be a bit lower on HP. jcstani still holding it down. Shot up, creeping up with him, and that spike is headed the other way.
Yeah, they've done a great job creating some pressure here on this A side with that pick. They forced a rotation, and they know that. They're going to go ahead and leave Gimon behind to see if anyone's going to push all the way through or try to get Orb. Maybe he can get even another kill, but it seems like they want to put that focus over towards B side. We are seeing them slowly work over towards Fountain. But again, they're non-committal. They're kind of keeping presence all across the map. They are leaving Sean with Raze over towards B, but now even he's starting to pivot. It seems like they want to re-hit A side. Like they've tried to slow it down. They tried to maybe manipulate some rotations, but now they just want to kind of settle in together. They have their From the Shadows if they want to put it to use at A Heaven. They have their smokes. They have their ability to blast back in with Sean. They have the operator on Hwyn here, so they can definitely make some picks happen.
Everybody's still alive and kicking here for this GenG roster, and you can't say the same for IMT. Is Shot Up going to be the next to fall? The operator still holding it down towards Showers. That recon bolt comes through. The kill's going to be traded back and forth. It's both Omens on the board as Gimon looks to sneak away. John holding down a tight angle here. It's down to the last two. The rotators coming over from B in Genghsta and Nature. Now it's just down to Genghsta, who has to do the unthinkable in a 1v3. Could possibly get it done. Has a shock dart to his name. We'll toss that one out. Working against the clock here. Defenders got to go. Immortals looking to close out another round, but it's GenG instead. 8-2 now. We will go, and we're inching closer to the half. Hopefully GenG have the answer.
Yeah, that's one of the opposite things. Like we talked about, like the weakness of playing a slow default is a team playing aggressive against you and not letting you settle into the round. That's what Immortals have really prided themselves on throughout the bulk of this game. They've been very successful at it. But the reverse of that is if you play into a slow default team and you give them an opening pick where they get to play their steady style and they have a 5-on-4 right off the rip, they can really juggle your rotations and make it hard for you to read what you're up against and where you need to be. And that's exactly what GenG were able to do, is kind of force people out of place. Gabon had, Showers control pretty much the whole time. They're able to, cage off U-Haul, isolate, the angles where they can just focus on sight and heaven and then bust their way through with trades. That's more of the GenG play style that I'm used to seeing. That's more of the type of quality that I'm used to seeing out of them as a unit. We'll see if they can try to streak it together, though, as they have only found a couple of rounds and they've both been, on an island.
The tag comes out, no Hunter Shuri this time around, and it's just going to be the control over the orb, though. Shot Up, postured aggressively, not able to find the shots through the wall. Quite a bit of damage, but no kill. Who's still able to back away, which means the Cypher utility still available, as he had, I think, a couple of cyber cages to his name as well. So we'll see how Kusa recovers from that. And you kind of brought it up there, Dust. You talked about the play styles as well, but the first few rounds, it just seemed like GenG were trying to play the aggressive style into IMT, and that is where IMT thrives. That last round, they slow it down, they go back to the GenG ways, and they're doing it the same way here.
I think early on they gave them too much respect. Now you're seeing them fight for Showers early. Like that's what I'm used to seeing. Like GenG really favor that 1-1-3 opening where they really try to get into Showers early, get the orb, and get some type of map control. They weren't able to do that early in the half. This round they were able to, and that gives them a little bit more breathing room to actually work out their default. They have spotted one player over there towards Octagon, which was actually the raise of Sean. That's going to tell a lot because Sean's the point of the spear, right? So with him being there, they kind of know that it might be a lay on B site.
And they're running out of time, so they're just going to have to send it here as that spike moves on up. Sean going to go in with the showstopper, finds that kill onto Nature, knowing he's playing too. Iman on the back of the site, waiting for anybody to push out, and Hwyn goes huge in close quarters with the operator. Now the numbers are starting to get evened out, but that neural theft going to show the two remaining here for IMT as GenG look to secure another in a 2v3. The satchel comes through, Chemicals goes down, and now it's all up to Genghsta with 21 HP. Dust. I mean, again, another tall order here for the Sova.
Indeed, I don't really expect him to do a whole lot here. He's going to obviously go for it because money is going to be available to buy next round no matter what. So attempted it, but it's just going to be too uphill of a climb. And GenG, again, being able to get that early map control, get that early orb, get a showstopper into Sean's hands. And even though they got read like a book as far as, Immortals being able to get the drone through Long B and detecting Sean's presence and knowing that, okay, he's probably looking to entry here at the showstopper, knowing's half the battle, right? Sean's still able to close this with the blast packs, get a pick, no subroza ult this time around. He's able to find the pick and open up the site, and then obviously use the neural theft as like an insurance policy to know exactly where the retake is coming from so you can kind of focus up and handle it accordingly. So that is another huge round from GenG. I feel like they're finally settling into the game. It just came a little too late on their attacking side, right? Like they gave up way too many rounds. But if they can clamp down on their own defense, then they still have a shot at this.
Early information given out towards B Long, but we know GENG play it slow, so this might not be their final destination as that boombot looks to grab some information over towards hookah. It's completely clear, so at least have that to their name. It's still the same default defense coming out from IMT. 3 hanging on over at that A site.
Sure.
You've got Gengstas and Natures holding it down here towards B.
But
Drone
look at
comes
this.
out.
They got control of shower, so they're able to pivot that third player to B really early, and that's going to do them wonders, I think. And now they have the pick onto Mikhail, so this is going swimmingly for Immortals.
Huge paint shells there. That is one of the things. I mean, the utility kills are so important because that's what separates Valorant from a lot of these tactical shooters. Is you have paint shells, you have shock darts, you have different types of Molotovs. So to be able to pick that kill up, absolutely huge. We'll see now GENG on the back foot, what they can get done. One's gonna get spotted in between the cages. It's Genghsta, and it's all starting to come down here just before the half. On gonna toss out some paint shells of his own. Tries to clear out towards elbow. Is able to find that kill onto Nature once more. But on low HP, Genghsta trades it back. That's a 2v4. Once more, GENG running down the clock. They will be able to get that spike down, but now we'll see the post-plant positions coming on through.
Yeah, again, Immortals able to get the early showers control, get the early rotation. They also caught the lurk of Kusa. If Kusa could have gotten a pick and gotten to U-Haul, they may have had to stay on to A, but because they caught him, they're able to rotate comfortably and with a massive man advantage. Gimon trying to see if he can't still put up some heroics to help his team through with the help of his teammate win, but there's just too many forces still available for Immortals to trade their way out. That's going to put them at the 9-3 lead as we switch sides.
9-3 at the half. Immortals on top. Guys, we are going to jump away for a quick break, but when we get to it again, 9-3, IMT on top. They will now mount their attack here, and they're leaning a bit towards A, Dust.
Bruh, all the frenzies, just all of them.
Yeah.
There's 8 frenzies. Yeah, 8 frenzies on the field, dude. Mind-blowing.
Frenzy meta.
Frenzies all day, every day. You better believe that the gas wheel's about to get slammed into the floorboards here by Immortals. They are a way faster paced team than GENG, so they're going to be moving real quick.
Yeah, and unfortunately, 4 are stacked up towards B, so it's only going to be Genghsta here holding it down. The spike planted nice and simple. Like, so at the end of the day, you lose this round, you still get some extra credits to try and force in the future. And now the remaining 4 all through CT, so everybody corralled to the backside.
Everyone's at market. This is a wild round, Tanner. They still have the boombot and paint shells though on Sean, and they still have the drone. So I mean, they had some ways to maybe crack the site back open. Maybe being a very key word in that sentence I have just uttered.
Yeah, and they're running out of time. That's the thing, is they've been so methodical rotating over, but because everybody had to do just that, the Molotov comes through, Paranoia on top. Who's gonna find the first? jcstani trades it back, but I mean, it's just looking like an attacker-sided round. Nobody on the spike here. What? Everybody getting mowed down, and they don't have the time.
Yeah, I mean, they busted it up and ran in and actually slugged it out there in short A with their frenzies and got the frags they needed. But like you said, it just took a little too long for them to find their fights. They could have somehow tapped the spike halfway at some point, maybe, but the hot hands came out from a shot up to stop them from being able to really stay on the spike for any real sizable amount of time, and ultimately they pulled through the victory. So they're already at double digits, bro. I mean, they're sitting pretty right now. They're basically forcing a force buy out of GENG, and if they lose that force buy, they're going to be force buying the rust of the map. I mean, they're never going to be able to get their footing economically. So GENG absolutely need to win this round, in my opinion. If they lose, I think it's done for. Like, it would take a crazy effort to come back.
It puts them on a save in the next, which means you lose round 11 too, theoretically, and you're on match point. So your first buy for GENG could quite possibly be on match point, backs against the wall. Mind you, GENG do have a bit lower win percent. It's 71-68. So, I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I was expecting maybe something a bit closer, but IMT, again, just coming out so fire hot.
Yeah, just putting the pressure on really early all across the map. They have showers. They're coming out. They're looking to split A. They have the smoke on Heaven already. They're starting to, block off U-Haul position. In fact, Kusa has to drop his cage just to feel safe falling back and trying to hold on to this angle. But he's going to get flashed, going to have to turn. Lamps now being taken. He's got a nice little one-way cage sitting right there, but Stani doesn't care about that. He's going to find the entry anyway.
He still sees the little toesies there of Kusa. Now they're just running them down. This is where, again, IMT thrives in the chaos, as it's all up to win once more. And the spike is down. It's a 1v4. You just really have to send it. No saving. And the first kill comes through. Low HP on shot up. Could find another. But then the next two, it's an uphill battle for sure. Dash into the smoke and unfortunately meets his two.
Yeah, he dashed into a clothesline hanging out there. Someone was drying their sheets, and he just flew straight into it, man. I'm tell you what, that was a tough one. I imagine his throat hurts a bit. But anyway, we are going to see, again, them have to force buy. Like, this is the path they put themselves on by force buying in the previous round. Like, you can't give up a round for free and saves fully and buy up next, right? Like, you don't want to be playing for overtime. So they're just going to have to, again, go for the SMGs, and they're going to get a judge on Huen, which honestly, the judge, especially in this position, it is quite a handful to handle. Go ask Sliggy from Liquid. He loves it.
Goombot grabs a bit of info. A bit more priority played over towards this hookah side for GenG on defense. I believe we only saw one play, I think one round where IMT put some pressure. Here it is. Going to be the judge, though, for Huen. Inside the smoke is one. Paranoia goes through, and he still finds a kill because the Paranoia goes wide. He's able to sneak away from the hot hands. Takes a bit of damage on the way out, but a kill, a retreat, and GenG are up one player.
Yeah, you've actually seen T1 do this a little bit as well in the North American scene, but it's also something that Liquid really favors in Europe against Sliggy, the coach over there, kind of really liking the judge for this type of scenario, and it really is a strong weapon to have. And oh, okay, if he would have pulled that off, bro, I would have got out of here.
It was looking to be fancy. Unfortunately, he falls flat on his face there. The teleporter also taken by Guimon, unfortunately going to fall once more, so nothing seeming to work here, and yet another force round for GenG.
Yeah, I mean, the writing is seemingly being drawn across the wall at this point, but there is maybe a way back. Sean might find the timing here, but they all port right into his face. Now it's on Mikhail, playing from Octagon, gets his man able to get back and hold on the control along B to potentially set up a retake. He has Hunter's Fury as, oh, never mind, forget everything I just said. He's gone.
Nerf the classic again from downtown. The right click picks it up, and Sean, with taking the teleporter shortly, already given his position away, is able to find one, but it's just not enough. And as we said, Dust, GenG are looking at map point here.
If Mikhail could have gotten around the corner, he had Hunter's Fury available to stall the plant, and then he could have bought time for more rotations, and they might have been able to figure that round out. But the moment he got caught at long B is the moment that the final nail in the coffin had been put for map point, at least, as Immortals are now just a few steps away from potentially locking in at least a 4th place here in a spot in Challengers 2. This would be the first big step, locking in this first map, as once again, GenG don't have much to work with. They're going to try to get aggressive on short A.
This is where Immortals thrives. Again, you take these early gunfights, I think Immortals come out on top. Fortunately for GenG, nobody here to stop them to push through onto market. Looks like maybe a trap wire there just to give away some information should Sean look to push on up. He's actually able to find one. He can hold steady as he finds a kill onto shot up. jcstani toss out the Paranoia, but it goes wide. The paint shell is going to be used, and jcstani fortunately heads on back, so no damage traded out. Ooh. But a kill still going the way of GenG. jcstani makes it right back. He's trying to avenge his fallen teammate, and he does just
look at this,
that.
though. Chemicals is completely cleared out B side except for Elbow. Now, we know no one's there, but he doesn't yet. But now he's even in back calls to be able to backtrack and clear Elbow. So they're able to absorb that short A pressure and just kind of bypass it thanks to Chemicals being able to get hookah control so early on. They felt enough pressure at A to kind of understand that maybe B was open, and Chemicals went and checked for them, found out that that was in fact the case. Now they have a 4-on-4 post plant.
And there was a trap wire there, which basically saved Chemical's life. He didn't want to push any further into the spawn because of that trap wire, and he turns away, which there was one waiting for him inside that spawn. So very unfortunate. Now Mikhail able to use that Hunter's Fury, but he's just getting killed from back halls. Nobody clearing it out. The showstopper going to be used. It's not going to do it just yet. It's a classic up top. Now Win needs to do some heroics here. Working against the clock, working against 3 members here. Has to go for the defuse, but instead it's jcstani to close it out, and 13-3 to end map 1.
Very heavy Reyna player. She's going to feel right at home playing this agent. And then, you know, Chemicals, of course, will be on the Jet on Ascent as opposed to the Raze. So about what you'd expect. As, again, GenG starting out on the attack, caging off Catwalk to try to work their way up middle, and Huen able to get a huge pick on shut up right off the bat.
And there's the Reyna that you were talking about. Now trade kills to come back. No, it's Win once more to take down Nature. Wow, what an aggressive start here from GenG. Trying to play that IMT style, and they're making it work. Now Guimon trying to get some more. There's a bit of a flank coming on through from the defenders, but they're all just getting mowed down. What a way to battle back here. Now one remaining. It's Genghsta who finds himself needing to pick up a multi-kill, just like we saw in map number 1. But GENG looking to close it out here, Dust. What a statement.
Yeah, that was big. They just basically caged off Catwalk so they could just work up middle together as a unit, and they were able to find 2 entries very rapidly, and that was pretty much the round done for at that point. So a great response from GENG after getting absolutely trounced on map 1 on buy, and they're able to, get a fresh start here on Ascent, put that one behind them, and then win in dominant fashion. Yeah, a few other players were really low on health, so I guess in some regards it was closer than maybe the 4 players remaining indicated, but still a dominant round all in all there from GENG. Exactly what you want to get yourself back in right footing.
And you know what? Maybe, okay, this is far-fetched. I'm really theory crafting here. The end of map number 1, GENG was just sitting on, judges, SMGs, whatever it was, but they did it for 3 rounds straight, just about. And now they're expecting to win that pistol, so they're getting their efficiency in, They were getting their licks in with those SMGs to bring it back here in this one, and now they're all SMG'd out once more. Spectres, I think 1 Stinger, Recon Bolt gonna go out, and it's that 5-point stance, and a huge early kill. Sean coming online once more.
Yeah, it's big to get Sean going. If GENG want to recover in this series, having Sean and Hwin pop off is exactly the recipe for success that you're going to be wanting. It's Hwin picks up on chemicals, trying to be cheeky up close with the shorty. jcstani at least able to trade it back and pick up a Spectre, but GENG still have man advantage, and they have control of the A site, and they know that jcstani is still here towards main, but they're trying to jump in on him, and it almost cost them dearly, but Guimon luckily able to stop that from happening. Now they have the 3-on-2 post plant here at A.
The timing there for Sean. The blaze wall goes down perfectly. The turret doesn't detect him. And it's all up to Shot Up here, who was the first dead in the first round, now looking to be the last here. Finds a kill, able to heal up. The overheal going to come through as well. Sheriff in hand. Now, this is looking pretty winnable. He's got to clear out the site, though, and Mikhail going to sit him down. GENG pick up an expected round to win, and IMT, they pick up a couple on the way out.
Yeah, it's a little bit costly. Definitely going to be forcing some rebuys out of GENG rather than just letting them carry over all the Spectres as comfortably as they'd want to. It does force them to actually buy up a couple of Stingers. And so the superior firepower will be in the hands of Immortals this round. As, again, GENG, very slow, very default, so not really going to see them stray too much away from that playstyle. I wouldn't think. They're going to have their Cypher obviously being kind of the main guy, watching for B pushes, maybe trying to get some B lobby control, the rest looking to take control of middle, have some presence outside A, of course. So kind of your classic 1-3-1. Again, just exactly what I expect from a team like GENG.
And mid control seems to be name of the game this time around, though. IMT going to have those rifles to the bonus round-ish. Light on the bonus, as they did have to force up a couple after going down. 4 members stacked up, though. Chemical's going to find the first, tries to smoke it out, but Sean is able to trade it back. Chemical sneaks away, hangs on to the Vandal, and it's going to be a clean take over towards this A site. You see Shot Up rotating to the backside, tosses out that Lear, and will be playing out toward Heaven. So looking to get that spike down. Actually going to opt out of planting it just for a moment, try and get a bit safer. Chemical's still alive, so player you have to worry about. Shot Up as well. Can have an angle for himself. Able to find the first right by Generator. Knows one down under Heaven. Is trying to run and spray the dismiss to get away. And a huge trade kill. Genghsta there to back him up. Now it's a 2v1. Sean has been hot before, and we're seeing him get extra hot here with the run it back. The fake defuse comes through. Last one out, Heaven. Run it back, going to be taken down. Now they're looking to get it halfway. Genghsta actually just looking to stick it all the way as they try and get on in. The turret going to delay them, but IMT will find the round. They battle back. Rifles go their way.
Yeah, GENG actually picked up the pace a bit that round. I mean, it looked like a default open, but they came out catwalk really quickly. It's just they really hit some initial snags as they were trying to make their way into tree that kind of halted them a bit and allowed Shot Up to get in position better with Reyna and A Heaven. And his kill and dismiss to bait the jet out under Heaven to allow Genghsta to slide in for the trade. That was just an amazing use of dismiss. That's why Reyna's so annoying in the fight. Like, I would be fully tilted if I was in the game dealing with that. It's just so hard to deal with because you don't know whether to pick the fight with the Reyna or look for someone else when they're dismissed. Like, you have to really jerk your aim around rapidly, and it just didn't happen. And that allowed Immortals a way back into the round.
But GENG slow it down. Right after that one, they realized they need to go back to what was getting them the win before. It is that full buy this time around. That was a bonus round, and the quicker styles sometimes work with that run and gun as that dart goes out, trying to get some information. Nothing spotted out. The A side kind of taken for free here as they do trade that kill. Back and forth, Sean gonna go down. Now the Lyric comes out on top. It's shot up once more to play this heaven position, but the Blaze Wall gonna keep him corralled. The spike yet to be planted. Now Kusta gonna fake to get that one down, see if anybody chooses to peek it. Now he's gonna actually stick it this time around. It's the same kind of setup as Sean. Finds another shot up, goes good for 2, but it's traded back immediately. We find ourselves once more in a 2v1. Now a 1v1 here as Nature closes it out to tie things up.
Again, it's shot up on that A heaven rotation that's making the world of difference for Immortals on these retakes. GENG are doing a great job getting initial control of sites and getting that spike down and giving themselves shots in the post plant to close out the round, but shot up has just been the X factor. That's back-to-back rounds. He's gotten a double kill to start opening the site back up for his teammates. The Nature, you obviously have to give that man some credit, winning a big 1v2 in the end. Once shot up started up to him, he was able to spike it back down and get a second round on the board for Immortals to tie things up and put a low econ situation in the hands of GENG, who are on mostly upgraded pistols and a couple of Spectres. So Immortals not giving GENG a lot of breathing room early here. They're challenging them right back.
It feels a bit out of character here. GENG playing as fast as they are.
Sure.
Chemicals and shot up. Back to the drawing board. They will send GENG. Guimond is able to pick up one, but not before falling. Now everybody corralled here. One might get spotted out by jcstani. Sean from downtown picks it up. This guy just on fire here on Ascent.
Literally now to heal with a stinger at that too. The burst fire on that thing is obviously capable of doing some big things from distance, but still not an ideal weapon for those scenarios. But Sean, of course, very skilled player coming into this team in late October, has really shown the region that he is a very capable duelist, and he gets his team back into a chance. Like, they're still behind in the round, don't get me wrong, but now they have some options. They're maybe able to pick up some weapons in middle. They still have a little bit of time to play with. They have spike possession on their Sova here, but it's about being able to break through. That's going to be the next big question that they're going to have to answer, as Shot Up has this angle at middle if they try to cross. Oh, but one slides in. The timing, oh my, that's big.
And a lot of time left on the clock here. 30 seconds. They can still choose from mid to go towards that A or B site. And either way, we see IMT holding fast, one towards A, one towards B. So it's going to be a 2v1 and a very long time to rotate. Sean has the run it back available again. Genghsta looking to mow him down here with the Odin in hand, just trying to stay away from the ultimate. Sean gonna be sent back, but he's shot in the back, and now that 2v2 becomes another, and they almost run out of time. So down to the wire here in the 1v1. So much used. What a game we've had here. Only 5 rounds in as Nature goes to peek. He doesn't find the kill. Mikhail sits him down, and GENG grab one back.
Oh my goodness. I thought GENG had a chance there on the 2v2 to, or excuse me, Immortals had a chance there on the 2v2 to actually retake there. I do think that Genghsta made a bit of a mistake. Whenever he wanted to run away from the ult, which is fair enough, but when he did, he exposed his back to the other player, and so basically he gets Swiss cheese. I think he just had to stay on the ramp to make sure that he could just take a one-on-one fight with Sean's ult and make sure they didn't have to deal with 2 players at once. So I think that that was a bit of a mistake there when he was in the 1v2 on B site. But honestly, when it came to that lockdown 1v1 from Nature, I thought he might actually grab it. That was really well done by GENG to fight their way out of that. Now they are forcing Immortals into a tough spot economically, and they already had the opening pick in this round.
And they just keep on it. Now we're seeing them string a few together. It was the first 2. They let a couple go. Now they bring it right back in, and it's looking to be 2 more. Once more, as we've seen how strong the Stingers can be, though. It was in the hands of Sean in the last round. Now going to be in the hands of Shot Up, as Chemical's going to pick up one with the blades, trying to make it a second. So much damage, but back to the classic. He will go. GENG on the back foot here in an eco round. Easily can turn it around as GMD. And pick up that kill. The blade's no longer available, so it was just the classic on Jet. So no harm, no foul in this thrifty round as a shock dart goes through. The spike has since made its way on the fight, and Shot Up looking to bring the fight right to him with the stinger in hand.
Oh, he's lined up 2 with the Hunter's Fury and delayed the spike plant. And look at how much damage some of these GENG players have already taken. Immortals might still have a chance at winning this round. They do have their own Hunter's Fury, though, for post plant.
And this is, I mean, like you said, the damage is just so huge because that stinger just closes it out onto Guimond. Win from downtown was able to trade it back, but 50 HP is all he has. And once more, we're in the 1v1, and it's reminiscent of round number 5. Here we go. The Nano Swarm, the head going to be spotted out. Mikhail tosses out the dart. It's going to be shot down. It's low HP on both members, and he's just trying to buy time so Nature cannot find the defuse. Nature's going to find the kill. This time around, he gets his revenge, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, it is funny how it plays out that way, right? It was Nature losing the 1v1 to Mikhail over on B in the previous round with his lockdown. This time, he's able to win it with just his bullets and Immortals. Winning that round, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow if you're GENG. That was your moment to gain traction. You had them on low econ. You had the previous round. You were maybe en route to go ahead and start building up a sizable lead, but Immortals, thanks to Chemical's ult and thanks to the plays were shot up, were able to crack the site back open. Obviously, the Hunter's Fury from GENGHSTA, a big part of that, to tag some players, get some chip damage, delay a spike plant. Just really great use of what resources they had at their disposal to make something happen and keep this game squared up.
And that kind of goes back to the utility point that I made before and what separates Valorant from every other tactical shooter. Those eco rounds, those thrifty rounds, they aren't always insta-lose rounds because of what you have. And so for IMT to pick that one up, just stunting the momentum once more for GENG. They were able to string 2 together, but that's the maximum. Now they try and find another. Chemicals gets baited out there. The shot gonna miss. This time around, though, Kusta doesn't have the jiggle like he needed, and Chemicals finds another. jcstani to back him up, and GENG are starting to fall apart.
They really are. They were trying to go for a faster A split, and they were able to get access to Tree and start putting some pressure onto Window, but Chemicals just able to bounce around with the operator, found a couple of kills, and right when you thought that they were going to take him out, I believe it was either a flash from Sean or something like that, that pushed Chemicals deeper towards defensive spawn. jcstani was able to swing out and be his guardian angel and stop him from going down and utterly crush GENG with 5 rapid frags. I don't even think they lost a player on that round. That was just reminiscent of the dominance that we saw on Bind, coming back and showing its head here on Ascent, at least for that round. GENG, they need to start settling back into this, man. They can't let Immortal steamroll them again, as they will slow things back down this round and play it a lot more to the style we're used to seeing out of them.
In the last map, we saw them at 6-0, so things already looking up here. As I say that, though, Gimon going to be melted down inside mid. The dismiss to get shot up away. Means IMT will keep their player advantage. 3 ultimates available to the 2. And that Hunter's Fury, we saw some value coming out from IMT, but
Shot Up has gotten all the information in the world. He spotted 3 players in middle, and he didn't take anything as like a punishment for doing so thanks to the dismiss. And now GENGHSTA is going to get to confirm that with the drone. Spots one on Cat, spots another. He spotted all 3 again. I mean, Immortals are working with perfect info right now. This is brilliant. And they have man advantage already. Oh my.
Make it another. Almost one more. Sean, though, has been hot for this GENG roster. The op shot going to go wide on that as well, as we see Chemicals switching up his position. Now Nature, jcstani going to be holding the cross here. A little bit of damage traded, it seemed, as the Nano Swarm going to stop the push. The spike is now down, and again, GENG on the back foot. Sean gets traded out, and it's all up to Huynh. We've seen so many scenarios like this. GENG going to come out on top. He makes it a 1v1, but he's on 36 HP.
Oh my, this would be an absolutely crazy effort if Huynn's able to pull this all the way off. He's going to get the spike plant. He's got the ult as well, but he's on low health. That's the big problem for him. He's got to get the jump on his opponent.
The post plant on A, this is where he feels comfortable. Every single round we've seen it like this, but we've seen IMT retake with ease. Now Chemicals, full HP, should be able to drop down silently here onto this site. There it is. The shot comes through. He swings a corner, and Huynh gets it done. GENG are back on the board.
I can't believe Immortals lost that round, but tip your hat to Huynh. What an amazing individual effort to bring that round back to GENG's side, despite all the L's they were taking throughout that round's timeline. You got to think about the opening pick Shot Up was able to get, the information they were able to get. They were able to even push Chemicals through B lobby and get an operator through into B link, but then Huynh, back against the wall, clutches it out all by his lonesome. Beautiful double kill spray down at Tree, and then a fantastic 1v1 with low HP against Chemicals. That was like literally the heroics that GENG required to hang around on this map, you have to feel. What an incredible play.
Wow. And I mean, momentum is so huge in games like this, and GENG seem to keep trying to steal it back over and over. Now, Chemical's posturing aggressively once more and almost spotting out one. Sean holding the angle. This is not an angle that you usually want to peek because Sean is just on a line here as they push up towards mid. Shot up, gonna sit one down, so now we're even. As that run it back comes through, the flash goes out and Shot up will fall. Now the storm onto this B site will take place, and it's down to the last 3 here for IMT as the Odin looks to spray. The neural theft gets the information, make it 2 as they start to get whittled.
Never mind. Okay, I thought the spike actually was going to be in a tough spot, but it actually dropped on the defender sides of that smoke, and so they were able to slip it in through heaven and get it back over to A site. So all the worries I was concerned with have been alleviated thanks to a great neural theft there to confirm the positioning of the defenders and get the spike pivoted to the open site. And now GENG have a 3-on-2 post plant, and already, you know, jcstani on very low HP on that Omen. So it should be GENG taking the lead now 5-4, and weapons basically just being saved by Immortals on the opposite end. Again, and this is all thanks to Win. I mean, somehow pulling off a crazy 1v3 clutch, despite the fact that, again, Immortals had that round in the bag in the previous. They had so much intel, they had so much map control, they had the man advantage. I mean, to let that one slip is a tough one for Immortals. And now this round, it was just GENG with the fantastic B execute, mostly thanks to Sean's ult, and also thanks to Immortals kind of overextending a little bit. It felt like they were trying to get away with a lot, and they didn't. Let's just put it that way.
It seemed that Chemicals, I mean, call a spade a spade. He hasn't been having necessarily the best game here, a bit lower on that kill feed, so maybe trying to force some of these kills to come through, and he gets punished. If you pick anybody else on this team, maybe you get that kill, but Sean has just been on fire, right? Even with the stinger, has been absolutely insane in this one.
Yeah, Sean's really rising up the rankings in NA as like being one of the duelists you have to keep an eye on. Like, there's a lot of other good Phoenixes out there, like Drone and Asuna, probably really top the charts in the region. But, you know, players like Sean, players like Shot Up, you know, some of these guys are definitely ones you have to keep eyes on that are also very impactful. And that was a big round from Sean. Big couple of kills to open that round up. And then obviously the neural theft was just kind of the insurance policy to make sure it went their way. As now, again, as we get towards the end of the first half, GENG keeping that pace steady, just getting that mid control, putting that pressure over towards Market and Catwalk simultaneously.
Back to a slower approach, but everybody stacked up. Sean with a huge flick to, again, stay hot in this game. Shot Up is able to trade it back. So we're even across the board, but GENG still postured up here in an awkward spot. 2 members quite possibly stuck on the Catwalk. Genghsta gonna back away, so they should be able to get out, but they're holding fast. That Spike just holding the rear.
Yeah, you could tell that Immortals were trying to run that little bait and switch it up on Catwalk to kind of allow that, you know, stinger to come out and catch the one off guard, but Sean just flicked on it and was able to keep it in a 4-on-4, and now they're starting to pry open this A site.
They are doing just that. Kills can be traded back and forth, though. Shot up once more in the heaven position. Chemicals close quarters, able to find the kill with the operator, but sat down not before trading. Quite a bit of damage there with the classic. That right click to the head knocks the health down low onto GMD. As the lockdown comes through, he's forced to use that from the shadows to escape, and we'll see how this A side plans out. A Shot Up looks to push on. Win trying to back away, is going to get caught out, not before finding a kill, and this is the 20 HP Omen against the just about full HP Reyna here, and needs to be another heroic effort as that spike was faked. GMD, he's not buying this one. It's Diffuse going to come on through again. Now he's looking to try and peek. He doesn't find the shots. Shot Up to get it back, and we are toe for toe here. Tit for tat, 5-5 again.
Yeah, this is a much different story than Bind. It has a much different flow to it. As you said, very back and forth. No one has had more than a 2-round winning streak this half. That just goes to show you how much of a mixed bag this has been, how much of a slobber knocker we've been delivered here, as both teams have shown us some hints of brilliance, but also some grave errors, and it's amounted to equal footing. As we are going to see both teams be able to put their best foot forward in this round for the most part, though Kusa is going to be on the stinger, so not quite ideal, but still, actually, no, he does get the Vandal in the end. Ooh, Chemical's trying to find a pick, but he's being baited, misses the shot, but able to get away, so no harm, no foul. Dagger spot by Hwin.
And this player has been so sharp for the low-hanging fruit in the pun there. Now looking to do it again as he peeks on through. There's the kill to follow. 30 HP though, and quite a bit of damage actually traded back. GMD making Genghsta back away as they do make it out alive here and head back towards this A lobby area. Mid looking to be the play is Mikhail as that drone going on through. The shots come down, let you know, hey, one's playing up towards this spawn, and I don't think much more information to follow.
Yeah, they were able to clear both close corners at middle, so that would give them a little bit more comfort if they wanted to work towards pizza control and start trying to split up B. But it could be very well that they're going to be able to walk up tree. I mean, they know that they've probably defended 2 defenders to each site, or maybe like one site has 1 defender while one has to kind of keep an eye on spawn. And so they're trying to work up middle since they cleared those close corners, and now they've cleared pizza as well. Smoke up, they can get inside of market, and so they're gonna split this B site.
And the blades traded out. There's a Hunter's Fury as well, trying to sit something down. Shot up, able to sneak away from that one. Here's the Jet go up top. It's Jet v Jet, and Hwin comes out on top, but the trades come right back, and GENG find themselves with a player advantage. They look to push up here onto the catwalk. Nature going to be taken down from the back of the side. It's all up to 1. It's the rotator back in B main, and I don't know how much Genghsta's got going for him. He's sitting on 39 HP from the beginning of that round.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic B split here from GENG. Thanks to the opening pick they found with Hwin over in A lobby. They were able to roll that into a brilliant set piece. Now Genghsta trying to be the spoiler of it as he's trying to work this clutch out. He's got some ability still to spin, but again, not the health points to sacrifice as he will get stamped out by their Mikhail. And again, GENG with that opening pick, if you give a really calculated default team a 5-on-4, you're going to have a bad time. They're going to manipulate your rotations. They're going to find gaps in the defense. And they're going to expose them. And exactly what GENG did. They used a drone to clear out middle. They were able to get into market. They're able to have the Hunter's Fury kind of clear a lane on the backside of the site and to cut off the defender spawn rotation so they can isolate the solo defender in B side itself and just trade out. And obviously winning the Jet v Jet battle against Chemicals was kind of the ace of spades that they needed for that royal flush of an execute.
The defaulted play, we see GENG fall back on, tossing out the cage, tossing out the smoke, make sure nothing from catwalk gonna get too much. There's that cage gonna be popped, and it's actually an aggressive stance from IMT.
Yeah.
They pushed all the way up through A. There is a trap wire stopping them from doing it, but once more, it's an aggressive split over towards this B site. The Nano Swarm gonna delay it for just a moment as that Hunter's Fury trying to delay as well, and he's able to find one. GMD gets traded back in the 4v4. GENG look to push their lead. IMT trying to make it even at the half, but Kusta says, no way, Jose, as he finds 2. Chemicals trades it back. Once more, a 2v3 situation for IMT. Genghsta on the rotate. Low HP as well on Chemicals as he dashes across. 45 health and a dream. A Vandal to his name. And running out of time is IMT. He's going to drop down onto log. Sean is watching it, and Sean will take him down. The shock dart might not be enough because we know just how hot he is. It's 7-5 at the half. GENG find themselves in a lead. That lead dust, and we'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, GENG need this. They need to try to stay in this upper bracket as we are going to see Immortals looking to penetrate B with just wide open. It wasn't a stack. It was forcing GENG to play for a B retake, and that's indeed what it's going to amount to as that smoke goes down to defender spawn. They get in. They're going to plant. It's all going to come down to GENG's retaking skills, which is always difficult in a 5-on-5 when you don't really have any anchor points to work from.
And pistols. So this round really is that coin flip here. This is actually very reminiscent of game number 2, where it was the same exact thing, just an opposite letter. Shot up now, playing aggressive inside of B main. Sean gonna trade it back, and Sean just cannot be silenced here in this series. Finally, he will go down, not before finding a bit of damage onto jcstani. Mikhail trying to get onto that side, but oh my god, the nano swarms from nature. IMT close it out and close the gap.
Yeah, the MVP are those little pieces of machinery. They popped off. Those little nanobots. Brilliant job there by nature on timing those out and deploying them just at the right time. That was basically the swing that they needed to get the round back on their side, because GENG were starting to make some good headway on that retake. They had a couple of nice little kills there that seemed to work out. Now they're going to have to gamble again on another A stack. This time they're all going to 5-man push A lobby, and so these guys outside A for Immortals are in for a rude awakening, but if they can get away, then it'll be just fine. Oh
Like
my.
here as well. Should they pick this one up, they'll have a bit of information. jcstani gonna see a couple and maybe just
Get out of
look
there!
to,
Go!
yeah, to link up with the team. We just gotta go, boys. Looking to be the site once more to hit, and full pistol retake here from GENG.
Oh yeah, I mean they were able to get up middle and clear out B side as jcstani was doing his best Forrest Gump impression
Yeah.
over to the B side with the spike. So, I mean, again, you have to gamble on rounds like this if you're GENG. There's really no other way to win, and unfortunately, they didn't roll the right number.
Cover going out.
Maybe finding a 1 kill would hurt at the very least. It's only a frenzy here for jcstani. I believe fingers across the board for the rest of the squad. AMD looking to set things up here with the smoke. I mean, there's not a whole lot of reason to save. Obviously, everybody's economy would be incredibly damaged. So I think you're at some point, maybe you look to just die on the sword by finding a kill on the way out. It looks like GENG just want to save. Okay, yeah, now they're just running. Okay, now it is. Okay, the kills to follow. I was going to be incredibly confused if they save there. They take the 1,000 credits that you get. And going into the next round, you're sitting on like 2,600.
Yeah, saving in this game is just like way less reasonable unless you have something truly of value that you need to carry over, like an operator or, you know, a vandal or something along those lines where you're not going to have the funds available to replenish it. So definitely encourages just trying to make miracles happen on ecos and things of that nature. Which, I don't know. It has its pros and cons. I still kind of wish the penalty for saving wasn't as harsh, but it's the direction that we're going right now. So it is what it is, as we are going to see, again, GENG kind of have a bit more of a lean towards one side of the map. In the meantime, shot up following the drone to clear out Pizza and a lot of the shallow mid position. So that's a lot of coverage to already have if you're Immortals on the attacking side. A team that already likes to play very fast paced. They get this much room this early. They're loving it. And he gets past the camera. They didn't see him. Oh no, shot up, gets the pick and defender spawn. The timing's unreal.
That was so huge. The jump peak just barely misses his head. Then, as you said, he gets on cam, misses him because it's only checking out Pizza. Now we get a lockdown to come on through, an IMT on their bonus round completely in the driver's seat. It is going to be full rifles. There's going to be a kill to come on through, so now things looking a bit even as far as manpower goes, but shot up, cuts him down. Sean will fall the lockdown, keeps him in place. And IMT looking to reap the benefits of hanging on to the Stingers here.
Oh my, what a brilliant maneuver there from shot up. You almost feel like gut wrench for GENG because they seem to have all the right protocols in place to keep tabs on that very type of situation. But shot up just found the perfect timing window to dodge the cam and not get jump peaked, to actually get in and get the pick. And then with the lockdown in play, I mean, it was all for the taking at that point. I mean, there was that one kill from Gimon through the smoke and defending spawn that gave you a bit of hope, but it was quickly extinguished. As Immortals will take the lead back for themselves, 8-7. And GENG, pressure starting to get on them just a little bit. There's still a lot of out left to go in this second half, and they're right on their heels still. But again, they're the ones that have more to lose on this map. So let's see if they can kind of keep their composure and start looking to recover.
I thought that would be an incredibly effective round for them, right? Rifles into SMGs. As long as you're taking those longer fights, typically that can go your way, but obviously shot up, throwing a wrench into things there, pushing through mid. I wonder how this setup changes now, right? There were no trap wires in mid, which means kind of quote unquote free access. I guess it was kind of a string of lucky
not this time.
Events. Yeah, but not this time. He does place one down.
Genghsta says, I'm going to go ahead and place one right over here. I'm going to make sure that that's taken care of. As we are, again, going to see Immortals look to get some pretty quick mid-control here with Gangsta's drone. They have to smoke up on Catwalk. They've already spotted Sean up close here. He is absolutely ruined. He had no way out. So big entry there from Immortals to get a quick 5-on-4. They spot the Cat up close positions as well. Gamon able to trade, but there's still a man behind.
And that was one of 2 rifles down on Catwalk now. So Gimon going to be, I think, the only Phantom available. The rest of the team, I'll be sitting on Sheriffs. I didn't see if a Stinger was bought out, but Sean was one of those members who had that Sheriff. IMT, though, take a breather. They take a step back and they say, hey, some of these guys have rifles. We need to respect it a bit as they toss out the paranoia. Maybe a play towards that. Some utility's going this way. The spike is there and it seems fairly free.
Yeah, Shutup's still kind of lurking in the tree position, making sure that all those angles are covered. Great nano swarm at A Heaven to stop anyone from being able to swing out and disrupt this spike plant. They've now cleared under Heaven as well. And again, they still have man advantage, so there's no ults in play for Gen G. This should go Immortals' way, unless they overextend. Speaking of overextend...
Did that shock dart just not do anything? It just hit that back wall and didn't have an explosion. Very interesting, as now we might see explosion onto the site from Genji. Again, it's pistols for a handful. GMG was the hero rifle. It is down now, picked up by Mikhail in a 2v2. As a nano swarm available on the spike, it is not. It's just going to be the fight taken. It's just going to be nature sitting them all down as IMT grab another.
Yeah, big round for IMT as that lead is starting to build up and the economy is starting to get to a dangerous place for Gen G. Yes, they can full buy here, but if they were to lose this round, they're likely having to full save and Immortals are likely getting a free 11th round. So this round's kind of a 2-for-1 deal for Immortals, whereas for them, they have money to burn. They have 4 players still sitting on a comfortable amount of credits, even in a post-buy for this upcoming round. And yeah, that was kind of odd how Gitmon didn't really take any damage there. That thing must have went through a wormhole into another map or something. Either way, this is a pivotal round for Gen G. I wouldn't say it's a must win. They have a little bit of kind of a safety net, but it would lead to a save, and it likely they'd have to just, you know, like have to win out from that point forward.
We do have a bit of a tactical pause. Looks like they are
good time to
getting
call
ready
it.
to get underway. And yeah, absolutely. This is the tactical pause didn't do too much for him in game 1, but like you said, things are close. You have a bit of breathing room, and you just take a second, slow things down. I thought we'd see it a lot earlier when it was 5-5 and the rounds were just being tossed back and forth. We get it a bit later, and
yeah, and this is big because MCE is the new coach on the team, coming over from CSGO. He's only been officially signed to the team for about 4 days or something along those lines. Had a pretty big tenure in North American CSGO, a lot of different Mountain Dew League teams. Definitely was known as a very intelligent guy. So maybe this gives him a chance to chime in, because again, this round is not quite last chance saloon, but it is certainly very important for them to have an easy time sticking around on this map.
And you saw that picture-in-picture, that shock dart following suit of the one that somehow went to the abyss before. So not a whole lot coming out of that one, as Iman gets some value with the ult, spots out one. Yep. Spike is down over towards this B side, and they know, hey, at the very least, shot up, hanging out towards mid. It's something we have to pay attention to. Yep. Meanwhile, there's no trap wire, so it's cam only right now for Kusta.
Yeah, IMT, though, being able to threaten this mid control really makes it tougher on Gen G to make rotations or to feel comfortable knowing which site they should be reinforcing the most. And as Shut Up continues to come up, he didn't actually shoot the cam, but he knows it's there. Now he's going to go ahead and pop it down. Now no information remains for Gen G. We are going to see a paranoia come through to clear out tree position to allow chemicals to start getting a little bit of additional ground, but they're not going to use it. They're going to actually back off. If they pull the rotation, they've made this Cypher bite over towards tree. This gives them a 5-on-2 execute on B with no one even beginning to rotate yet.
It does feel like an extra man is here, though, with Sean playing on the back of the site, so we'll see what he can get done. As from the shadows going to be used to get onto the site. The flash comes through. jcstani just trying to spray it down. They know they're running out of time here. They have to get the spike down. Finally, they do, as they clear out the site, and they clear out another. A 2v4 retake. The Empress is on, and Win and GMD have to do something crazy, and instead it looks like just a save.
Yeah, they just don't have the money. Like, these are like the only 2 rifles they're really going to have next round unless they force buy around them. So getting out of here with those is absolutely pivotal. And that's just a great job. Again, Immortals playing a little bit assertive, you know, getting some early map control in enemy territory, using it to hinge into a site split, and they did a great job isolating those 2 defenders in the back of the B site and not really allowing any type of rotation from Gen G to come into effect. And that's just, you know, them being decisive and having players who are comfortable playing scrappy Valorant and just going in there and swinging on people and taking duels, and they're certainly winning them consistently at this point as they now jump up to 10-7. They are just a few away from 2-0ing the series, and again, guaranteeing at least a top 4 placement here in Challengers 1, which guarantees them a spot in Challengers 2. which is so important on this road to Masters.
You can't harp on it enough. And even at the end there with that save, it was GMD who eventually did fall, which it's not a hero rifle this time around, but it's just not the best buy once more for Gen.G. So at the very least, we might be seeing that 11-7 scoreline. And contrary to what we saw on Bind, the next buy should be when you have that one round of breathing room. You won't necessarily be on map point. I think most importantly, we're going to see what Hwin can do here. Not enough with the hero rifle. He will fall and A-site completely open.
That is a real feels bad. Everyone press an F in chat to pay respects, because that might be one of the finishing touches required for Immortals to lock this thing in. Retake is still possible for Gen.G. They have a couple of ults that they could put into play, but I would feel like they would want to save them to the next round, unless they can find an opening kill.
And it's not looking good. The pressure on this A site, nobody can even find a way in. And just when you thought maybe a kill lands, oop, there it is. Okay, that kill does follow through. Nature gonna trade back too, though, and it's all starting to fall apart. Running out of time is Gen.G. Running out of players is Gen.G. as Nature finds himself a 4K on that thrifty round, and IMT pushed to 11.
Yeah, really tough there on Gen.G to do much. They were working with limited resources. They're back onto a full buy now, though. They have the Operator for win. They have the Hunter's Fury to stall out a plant. They have the Run It Back. They have Neural Theft. They have a lot of options here to really give it to Immortals this round. But Immortals have their own lockdown for a site take. So that is something that really could prove fruitful. And they're also just winning the battles right now, man. Like, Nature and Shot Up are just wrecking people. Chemicals hasn't even really been required. He's had a quiet game, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter when the other two guys are just popping off.
Oh, and an op shot just to add insult to injury. Leg swing on the way out randomly through the smoke. It's just all stacked against Gen.G here. Shot Up looks to position aggressively.
Oh!
The recon gets taken down by somebody else, but Hwin still dies, not expecting to push alongside GMD.
That was so perfect.
Wasn't enough, yeah.
I mean, that's basically the drone playing as a sacrificial entry fragger to set up the trade. Yeah. That is beautiful use of the drone. You always got to be wearisome of someone following that, and Shot Up shows you just why, as he gets a brilliant kill towards middle. And now they can start collapsing on A. They're going to lock down to enforce this hit. Chemicals does get darted, and again, there is Hunter's Fury that could stop the spike plant, but all in all, it's looking wonderful for Immortals. Oh my.
Even more so, Chemicals right to the Grape of Kusta. It's going to get popped. The Nano Swarm not needed, but was used for safe measures. Now jcstani tosses out that Paranoia. A flash in response from Sean. Everybody looks to back away. Sean now creeping up solo dolo here towards heaven. Maybe it's looking like a save going into map point. This feels rough.
Yeah, it's like you really want to be able to use the Hunter's Fury to stall out a plant and let the Run It Back come into fruition to try to go for the retake. So now they have to save it, and they have to win 5 rounds in a row just to force an overtime, just to force a chance at the third map. I mean, Immortals are just picking them apart, and I feel like it just all comes down to first bloods. Like, I feel Immortals are getting the opening pick every round this half, it feels.
And so you kind of said, Yop shot goes wide there, unfortunately. And Chemicals again, insult to injury as they just keep finding more. Guimond will fall, and Sean picks up one, but that economy
that means no operator
so pretty
for them.
For IMT.
They have no operator coming into this now, and they have to work with Spectres and a Bulldog. Like, this is
haven't
grim.
Won a single round.
No, they're getting absolutely. This is like more reminiscent of mine. The first half was amazing. It's like the exact type of slugfest you'd want to watch. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, but this half has been the Immortal show as they're looking to get one of those top 4 spots. They are just moments away from doing so, and there's not a whole hell of a lot that Gen.G can do about it. Again, they have a couple of ults that could be quite useful, but their firepower is severely lacking, and again, they've shown us no proof that they can succeed in this half, considering what we've seen so far.
And again, yard sale by close range, though. Kusa comes out on top with 2, trying to keep Gen.G alive as the Hunter's Fury finds another. It's down to the last 2. The heroic efforts. Kusa finds another. The op shot goes wide. Chemicals makes it away. We'll see what the Jet here decides to do. Not a whole lot of options on the way out, Dust.
Nah, he's
tosses the op.
That's a smart play. He knows that they're not going to have the economy to really buy it. So throwing it out of the map to where they can't pick it up is a really good thought from Chemicals. Here's the problem. I don't think Kusta really needed to burn Neural Theft there. And so the fact that he did use it means that they don't have it for future rounds, which is actually kind of tough. They do still have to run it back, though, on Sean, so that obviously could be very useful in retake. They have Win. Of course, he has his ult as well. But, yeah, the thing is, now you're going to have to battle back without those kind of extra pieces of utility. Now you just have to trust in your base abilities and your aim. And more often than not, Immortals have won in those regards.
Again, you said it. 5 in a row. It starts with that one there. Zach Shockdart looks to delay a push towards B main. Fortunately, not a whole lot going on in that area. The spike's still on the ground, but mid looking to be the play. As we heard, those blades come on through. Win needs to have himself around, just like Kusta did in the last, and he might be first to contact here. He takes down the drone. Smokes go through. He's got some ideas, and shot up sits him down. That's 1 of 2 ultimates trying to keep GENG alive, now taken off the board.
Shot up again. How many first bloods had this guy had in this half? He is constantly getting up middle and constantly wreaking havoc on the GENG defense. Gimon at least able to respond, swinging off a catwalk, gets it back into a 4-on-4, but Hunter's Fury from Genghsta is gonna clear the way for a take here on this B site. Shot up, reinforcing it with another entry onto Mikhail. And now it's a 3-on-2 post plant for Immortals. There is a run it back for Sean, sure, but it's still going to be a tough retake for these two guys. They do have the opposing Sova on low HP, but they don't have a whole lot of territory to work from.
I mean, it's tit for tat in this round, right? It was tit for tat in rounds in the first half. Now in this last one, just when you thought GENG was battling back, they just get traded out. Now Sean doing his due diligence. If you want anybody in the 2v3 clutch, it is going to be Sean. It is going to be Kusta, who picked up 4 in that last round. Now the run it back finally going to be used. It's going to get sent right back, and it looks like GENG running out of options once more, running out of players. The last one inside, it's shot up. Who better than to close it out? 13-8 as Immortals move forward here in the winner's bracket.
Now, Immortals just soul-crushing GENG throughout this series, dude. It was just such a spectacular play from them. I mean, I don't even know what to say, honestly, when you think about it. Dude, you want to hear a crazy stat? GENG only won 1 defensive round the entire series.
Jeez.
Wait, no, I got that wrong. Sorry. Immortals. Or, yeah, no, I got that right. GENG. They only won 1 round on Ascent defensively, right? And then they